welcome back. So we're back in the shed, and this weekend a little bit more on the second Bonnie. Unfortunately the other Bonnie is still it's really biting at me at the moment to finish off the wiring and get the headlight and all that sorted out. I'm dying to get that done, but there are still some things I want to get done on the other Bonnie as my daily ride, and have that kind of not completed, but it's little things like at the moment I've borrowed the cut down seat that I made for the other Bonnie. That's on that one. I want to change that over. I've got no under seat protection or anything. I've nicked the brake light off the other Bonnie to put on that one. I want to try and take those things away and keep them back for the best Bonnie and where they should belong, and then replace them with bits that I'm going to do on this one. The little stubby exhausts, they're still on there, they're working well. I've had to do a little bit of a modification to them. I wasn't getting as much power sort of very low down. It was a bit lack of back pressure or something, I don't know. It was just, yeah, it just didn't feel quite as crisp and responsive, even with the jetting. So I've just thought I'd try out. I've got some little 4-inch baffles, and I've put those in it, and I only did that last night, kind of rushing a little bit. Didn't really film it because I had to go and pick up a friend on the back of the bike and go out. But that has made a massive difference. It's not quite as loud and raucous, but it's definitely improved the kind of performance of the bike, which is kind of more important at the end of the day. Well, I'm going to take those off anyway and put some exhaust sealant around them, and just I'll show you all those in a moment. I've got the one of the seats that came with the bike. I've got that. I'm going to start pulling that apart now as well, ready for a sort of seat cut down reshaping. Again, nothing amazing really there. Exactly the same process as on the Brat style seat series of videos that I've got. It's going to be the same thing I'm going to be doing, and I think I've done it with a few other seats as well. What else? Alex, my friend Alex, check out his channel. I'll put a link in there as well. He has sent me over a set of spacers, cut down spacers for the forks, so I can kind of start lowering the forks properly. Also with Greg as well, he's helped me out. I'll put a link to his channel as well, and he's enlightened me with a few other little things to do with smaller springs around the dampening rods. So thanks to Alex, big thanks for these, mate. Thanks to Greg. I will get on to that. I plan to get the bike kind of a few little things sorted out. The rear mudguard is going to get done this weekend. I want to bleed the front brake, but in terms of lowering the forks and other bits, I want to do a kind of service on the whole bike anyway. So I'll probably do that then. So I'll leave it as and when. I've got quite a long list of things for both bikes to do, and I've got to try and prioritise and work out what the most important things are. As for spraying the tank as well, don't know if I'll get around to that this weekend, we'll see. But yeah, we'll crack on. I'll show you where we're at with the rear mudguard. A little bit of a false start on that, and the exhaust. That's what we'll start with. Okay, so the rear mudguard, you'll probably see that and go, hang on a minute, in the last video you definitely put a drill bit through that. I did. I drilled it all up, put it on, and I wasn't happy with the positioning of the light. I think I was rushing a little bit too much there and didn't take my time. So I've had to kind of do a repair on it, and all I did was quite an effective and easy way to repair lots of holes that you've drilled in something. You can still sort of see the remains there. I got a little bit of rubber, I think it's like a puncture repair kit, square of rubber that covered the holes there, and smeared the side that touches, smeared the inside of the rubber bit that touches on there with Vaseline, quite a thick load of Vaseline, stuck it on, a couple of strips of gaffer tape just to hold it in place. And what that effectively did then was block off the holes from this side. So then I just made up a cap full of the fast glass resin, none of the actual fiberglass in it, just the resin. And I was able to drop fill into all the holes. The rubber behind it stopped it going all the way through, obviously. Filled the holes up, sanded those back until it was all smooth again, and then more coats of paint to effectively create an invisible repair there, which worked out really nicely. And then yeah, just when it's all dry, just pull off the rubber and Vaseline mix underneath. That won't have stuck to anything because of the Vaseline. And you're laughing. So done that, so I'm going to have to re-drill that now. And but let me show you the exhausts. Okay then, exhaust wise, just removed it from the bike, so I drilled a hole in the end there, obviously just to retain the baffle, but that is pretty much it. Nice little small baffle, but as you can see, that's in there. Where they're folded over here, we've got just to create a little bit more of a disturbance to the exhaust gases. And I thought, they're not expensive, so I'll give it a go. And it's worked an absolute treat. It's not ridiculously quiet now, but it's sort of, I think, a more pleasing sound. Not quite as abrasive sound wise, and also the most important thing for me, the bike just feels like it's performing a load better with those in. So happy days. Right. What I'll do is I'll get them reassembled and stick them on the bike and give you a little sound bite as to how it's sounding with those. Actually, just before I put it all back together, I've just switched out the bolts for an Allen bolt there. I just think it looks a bit cooler. On the inside, I don't know if you can see on there, just to centralise the baffle in the tube there, I've just stuck a shake-proof washer underneath there. Just gives it the equal gap all the way round. And that one's ready to go. Right, okay, there we go, fitted. I kind of drilled the holes there, because it was easier to mark out and get where I wanted it. And I was going to twist them and have the slash cut facing kind of down, but nah, I've decided I prefer them with the slash at the side. So, but I don't find that too much of an issue. There's about 3 inches of downpipe come up through there and slid over the top there, but yeah, it seems kind of looks nice and neat. So I guess we better have a listen to see what it sounds like. So I'm kind of happy with that at the moment. That can stay as is. The bike definitely seems to perform better, sort of on the sort of up to the core of throttle, slow speed sort of stuff. There's a bit more oomph to it, and yeah, it still kind of sounds pretty cool, pretty noisy, a bit raucous. So onto the Mudguard. Okay, there we go. So that's on. Just tidied up the wiring. Had to go and only had a 4-way connector block up there, but that'll do. Yeah, at least it's fairly neat and not to bodge together, and loads of those red bullet connectors. But all's working fine. So yeah, sort of roll it out and have a little look, see what it looks like in situ with the seat on. Okay, there we go. Rear mudguard, front mudguard. So yeah, that's looking alright. I think the tank definitely needs to go black, and the side panels. Little view from the rear. Yeah, quite like it. Just a little bit different to the other Bonnie. There's the front guard, chopped down. Bit of a gap under there, ideal. I might try experimenting with putting it underneath the brace just to lower it a little bit. But overall, I'm happy with that. Okay, now I said I wasn't going to really show much of this, but just couldn't resist. I've chopped down the old seat, just the rough cuts at the moment. Pretty much exactly the same as that one. The only difference being I think I've come in
a little bit narrower, possibly at the back as well, and I've at the moment just stopped it off just to end with the frame rails at the back, whereas the other one's got that kind of slight ellipse overhang. Not an awful lot more, but it's just about there probably. So this one's going to be a bit shorter and a bit more a bit more plank like than that one. Not as, I think, but who knows. But yeah, so that's the first cut. So I just need to get all that nicely sanded down at the sides and evened up. And I've done the first cuts on the very rough cuts, of course, on the foam. So yeah, that needs an awful lot of work yet. Needs to go a lot thinner on here, and then some serious contouring on the sides, really, just to give it that real planky bench seat kind of a look. There we go. That's the seat pretty much reshaped and reprofiled. So I'll go and just offer that up to the bike and just see if I need to take any more bits off anyway. Have a sweep up. Okay, so I've done a bit more standing and shaping to the seat pan itself, just to get that nice and even and lovely all the way around. I'm quite liking the way that's sitting on there. I'm going to call it a day on this one because it's getting late now. I've still got a little bit of shaping on the seat pan to follow the contours of the foam here, just smooth that off so it's not so blocky. And then top end there, and you can probably see they're not quite even on those two sides there, so I'll get those spot on, but that's going to have to be tomorrow's job. So I'm going to call that one pretty much done on this video. It's kind of quite good fun to be doing stuff that it's kind of all homemadey stuff rather than just buying stuff. I mean, some of the stuff on that I've made as well, but that's probably more taking stuff off and accessorising. This one's a bit more fun, just not bodge. I don't know what the word really is for it, but you know, I'm trying to recycle and repurpose things on this, so it's not just, you know, it's quite easy just to throw a load of money at one of these bikes now and just spend the weekend and take bits off and bolt them on, but no, it's getting there. So I'll wrap this video up and we'll see how we get on next week. Thanks for watching.